Hello everyone, welcome back to No Bubble Podcast episode 135? 36?
Yeah, 35, yeah.
I think it's 35.
I think 5. I think 35.
I'll quickly just have a check on that. I'm George, as always, joined by my illustriously well-lit co-host, Mr. Connor Esser.
Well, you know, forever well-lit. Yeah, exactly.
You're actually in the dark dimension.
Sure.
No one knew that. Yeah, 135.
I'm the in-between. I'm not quite upside down. I'm not sideways. I'm in the dark dimension.
How have you been this week, Con?
Fine, I guess. Again, it's just another fucking off-the-mill, just typical week. But, I mean, this Saturday is my birthday. And I know I'm not back at work till the 15th. So I'm looking forward to that. To do nothing. Absolutely nothing. But it's fine. I need it. It's nothing. Another day.
And you're going to be 65.
Yes. Yes. Yes, exactly. 65. I feel 65 every sodding day. I don't know. 23, yeah. Yeah, 23. But when this all ends, I'll go back a year and then relive 23, whatever year eventually all the shit ends. That's how I'll see it.
You'll automatically reset.
I'll stay like 22 for now.
So for we stay in this lockdown for about 5 years, you just revert back to.
Oh, okay. If it goes on, we'll just go backwards. So I'll be 21 next year, then 20, then 19.
Possibly. That would be a hell of a movie that Michael Bay's probably already made. I need to get you something, but I'll sort that out when I get paid, because I don't get paid until the 12th. So.
It must be for, because I was thinking about that earlier. We're roughly the same.
Yeah. Do you get paid this Friday? Or next Friday?
I get paid this. Do I get paid this Friday?
I'm saying, do you get paid
No,
this
I think it's next. I feel like it's next. I don't think it's now. I don't feel like it's this week.
I think we get.
But who knows? I think it's
the same time then.
I think it's. We do. Yeah. No, 9 times out of 10.
That would be nice.
Appreciate it.
Should we just get into that stuff? We got obviously WandaVision episode 4 to talk about.
Yeah.
And that'll be the main thing. We'll just do our newsy bits that we kind of do. Yes.
And filling in the in-betweens. Yeah, filling the in-betweens.
Yes.
Yeah. Where are we at with subscribers? Because it says on my phone 230. Is that sort of true? Is that accurate? Or
no? It's 230.
No. Oh. One person can make all the difference.
Yeah, we were really.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Starting to snowball a bit, and it's quite nice. We're going to do some stuff. There's stuff in terms of progress that I'll talk to you about when we finish this. But until then, thank you for helping us hit 200. If we can hit 300 before June, before our 3rd birthday, averaging 100 subscribers a year,
be nice.
That'd be top notch.
It would be nice. Yeah. That'd be very nice.
We'll just have to wait and see that. But it's a bit weird, isn't it, when that kind of stuff happens? Because it's like.
Well, it's random, but then like the last couple of times it's been about what 7 to 8, 10, and then all of a sudden the last 2 weeks it's been about 50 out of nowhere. So I don't know. To keep the numbers up. Like I don't mind the bursts, but then just the more like we don't have to have more bursts, but like when we do have a burst, it's got to be more higher. Getting them increasing.
Well, reach the masses. Rising.
Reach the masses. Yeah.
But
even the Time Lords have to interfere.
Come in the coming days. Yes. Where is that? Cool. So let's do the newsy bits. Should we start with the biggest thing that was S.W.O.R.D on Disney Plus?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, let's do that. February the 28th is a whole batch of all the content that every Disney Plus subscriber wants. It's all the Fox stuff, essentially. It's a good chunk of it. All on one day. Bunch of shows I'm going to be watching. More Bruce Campbell, I can't complain. And all right, some of the stuff you can, I think, is still on Prime right this second, but I ain't gonna be using Prime. Safe to say, I've got to stay loyal to our corporate overlords.
Yeah, like so. Basically, it's how they're gonna be putting across all, like you said, all their Fox stuff that Disney bought out from buying Fox, or like the parts of 21st Century Fox. So all that kind of stuff's going to go on there. It does raise a question of, does The Simpsons then go on there? Because I know The Simpsons was already just on Disney Plus, but obviously being a Fox thing, does that then move with all the Fox stuff, and then that's going to sort of fill in the gaps of all the other X-Men, but they're also been putting up the X-Men movies on there anyway. So would you? I think it's a really long way of me asking, would you then put the adult stuff on Star?
Yes. Because then, even if you've got a family account and like, obviously parents will know the details of that channel and stuff, and they'll know that if there's something that the kid wants to see and they know it's not going to be age appropriate for them, and then they know exactly what to click on, as opposed to the Disney Plus homepage at the moment. You can just sort of click willy-nilly, and then if you stumble onto anything that could be slightly out of the Disney zone, and whatever, it doesn't even give you like a warning prompt or anything. So you can stumble onto things, whereas with Stars, it's literally there for like, the elderly content, the older content, the mature content.
Yeah, so just some of the bits that are, because obviously the logos are still made up of the logos of like some of the stuff that's going to be on there. It's going to obviously expand as it goes on, and like you said, maybe like Punisher and stuff like that can then go on that part of it. Because if it's still produced by like Disney and stuff like that,
the reboot, the Daredevil, all of it,
bring them all back. So stuff like How I Met Your Mother, Grey's Anatomy, X-Files, 24, Deadpool 2, Cleveland Show, Buffy. Which is weird because Channel 4 got Buffy over here, like, so it's on.
Do they?
Free,
Oh, isn't it? And so is Prime. But okay.
Prison Break, Lost, Moulin Rouge, Desperate Housewives, Romeo and Juliet, Modern Family, Three Bill Bells Outside Missouri, all the Die Hards. Planet of the Apes, which I look forward to that.
Okay, good. Yeah. Cool.
Something About Mary, Devil Wears Prada, Borat.
Lovely.
So all that kind of stuff. In what? Scrubs, Waterboy, Grand Budapest Hotel, Independence Day, 9 to 5. Stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. And they started
24 and Lost.
Well. So there was an advert on TV yesterday with that, like the stars bit. And it's nice to see Deadpool followed by a Disney logo. We're a step closer each time.
Yeah, well, I saw Deadpool 2 though. Is the first one going to be included? Because they liked to separate each property. So like the Die Hards, for example, they're not next to each other in the logo. They're all kind of hidden throughout the poster, so you kind of have to look for them. I couldn't see Deadpool 1. I saw Deadpool 2.
I assume that's in there somewhere.
But no. I hope it is. Yeah. For people that still haven't seen it, they still haven't.
Maybe because I don't know whether like that'll be added on
licensing.
Later. Like with like the MCU, not all the films were on it straight away, were they?
No, but you still got odd stuff like the Tim Story 2005 Fantastic Four, which is on Disney Plus in other countries, which we still haven't got. Yet we can still watch Rise of Silver Surfer.
That's the main thing we want.
Maybe that's the second one.
Maybe that's on Star.
I want the first one.
Maybe that's.
I hope to God it is. Otherwise, I'll give up. I'll give up at this point. I'll give up. Give up.
Can't give up. But yeah, you're looking forward to that, and sort of, it's a nice way, I think, of getting around the problem.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not just going to be a random like mini update where all of a sudden it's like it must have been like that back in the day of Netflix starting off as an app, where they had their own little bit, but obviously it's more like Disney Plus. They didn't have a lot on there, and it's not like they woke up one day and all of a sudden, bam, content. Like they needed a way of doing it. I don't know the story of Netflix as such, but I know it was like a DVD rental company in America that literally handed out discs before it became the global entity it is.
Yeah.
But it's not like they woke up one day and said, you know what, here's all these shows for you because we know we're going to make so much bucks from this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This way is a good way of doing it, and like for someone that is family sensitive like this, he's owning the fucking world. It's going to bring more people in, and the app will only continue to grow. So,
yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, mate. What have we got here? I'm just trying to look for.
It's February the 28th. I just want to know what day it is, out of curiosity. It is a Sunday.
Oh, cool.
Nice, quiet Sunday. And you get a whole bunch of... Well, I think it's, $8.99 now instead of the $6.99. If you're paying yearly, it's like $69.99 to $89, I think. I think.
Yeah, so that's...
Something like that?
Yeah, for the amount, that's good.
I'm just letting the viewers know. I'm
trying to, because I screenshot everything on my phone. Now that the easiness of having it on, doing this on here. So then, do you want to stick with the Disney Plus train, sort of thing?
Speak to Disney Plus train.
Do you want to stick with it, like?
Okay, well.
Like, because I've got some stuff on this.
No. Okay. All I've got to ask is, what would be the first thing on Stars you'd be watching? Whether it's something you've seen, like Deadpool, or something you haven't branched off. What would you watch if you could pick?
It'd be nice to have Scrubs on the streaming service again, because I love that show, and I really do mean to box at it, but I haven't yet, because I haven't bought it. I did love that. It'd be interesting to sort of try and explore, like, oh, they own this now. Like Planet of the Apes, like the reboot ones, like Rise, Dawn, and War. They're great. I want to watch them because I do mean to pick them up in 4K, but there's not a HMV that I can go to at the minute. Everything. No. I mean, apart like Buffy, like I really want to.
Yeah, I'd say dabble into Buffy. That. At least give it a go. Yeah. Yeah,
because I have sort of started that on 4, but
Angel wasn't on that poster, which is a spin-off
of Buffy,
sort of sequel after Buffy. That wasn't. I don't think in that star interest.
Not that it won't be
again down the road. Maybe they'll add that. Yeah, exactly, down the line, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't. Yeah, it is true. I don't know. For me, just because I'm on the Bruce Campbell train, I want to watch Burn Notice. Ooh. Just to see because I've read the synopsis. I think, because he's in 111 episodes. I don't know how long the show is, but he's in a lot of goddamn episodes. So he must be in the whole run, I'm guessing.
I think he is.
7 to 8-ish seasons.
Something like that.
I think it is like spy work and like people like the ex-spy has been burned, and like in the sense that he's got a new identity in hiding, and he has a lawyer who may or may not be Bruce Campbell, and he's a best mate, and essentially they have to go and solve crimes, but as a burnt agent or something along those lines. Like he's sort of hunted by the government, and I don't know. It's something along those lines, I think, from what I read. I thought it was like a boring fucking doctor's drama or like household thing, but it's nothing to do with those things. But I don't know. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I just want to see Campbell.
Maybe we'll review it. Maybe we'll group watch it and review it.
Yes. Unsocial commentary it.
Are we going to group watch the WandaVision finale?
Yes. Let's just say yes.
Deal.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Speaking of that, news that broke a couple of hours ago was Don Cheadle has confirmed he'll return as War Machine in Falcon Winter Soldier.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Surprising guest star. We didn't really expect that. I'm up for it.
No. Sure, yeah. It will have to have a purpose. It can't just be, oh, look, remember Tony? You killed him. Your captain killed him. Don't be like Steve. It's got to have a purpose, you know? It can't just reminisce of the past.
Do you think he's going to be
remember that time you almost something?
A main character in it?
Yeah,
or
sorry.
Just an extended cameo?
Extended cameo being in like, because it's a 6-episode run. 2 to 3? He might be in half of it, maybe? I don't know. I can't see him being like a permanent member of the squad.
Like
but
just
I
outside
don't
the ensemble.
want him to not be involved.
Maybe.
Yeah, he can be a background character, whilst Falcon and Bucky are going to do the actual fighting, maybe. I don't know. He's their radio. Maybe working with S.W.O.R.D. or S.H.I.E.L.D. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. But I'm looking. It's nice that they're sort of. We've had like Darcy and Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo Woo.
In WandaVision, which we'll get into in a bit. It's nice to see them branching out and like just sprinkling characters there. It'd be nice. Rumors for She-Hulk.
Keep it going.
Is that
yes.
Hulk will have a rematch with Abomination in the series at some point.
Cool. Fine.
And at some point in the future, the MCU Hulk will be the president of the United States. How true those
are. What?
Apparently so.
What?
Doesn't make Smart Hulk a player and like an overlord of the new generation.
I could see... That idea is amazing. I could see him in like suits and politician. Yeah, I could see him as a politician.
A bit like Beast in X-Men 3.
Exactly. Yeah, he's trying to help humanity. Yeah.
What do you think?
So,
I mean,
cool.
They're just rumours at this point. So, what do you think on those?
Yeah, of course, grain with salt. But yeah, no, I kind of now that idea has been seeded in my head. However true, false it is, I kind of want to see it. I'll be devastated if nothing of that happens. Or even if it's not Hulk, or I don't know, it might be for another character they have in the show who then ends up in the presidency office. It doesn't have to be Hulk, but I think because Hulk is currently Professor Smart Hulk at the moment, he's injured his arm and he can't fight Hulk, it would make sense to do something along those lines.
Yeah,
because in that way you can't exactly wipe him off as a character, and he could still be a very key player, but without being the action part. He could just be the interest. While Fury's out in space, he could be like the next overarching character in between all the films.
Like when they in X-Men again.
Yes.
Like when it's like we've got a president that accepts us.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it makes things.
Well, he's one of us. Yeah, he's one of us.
He's one of our teammates.
Please, I'd like to see that actually. Interesting aspect.
What was it?
Don't know, but
yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah.
A surprising one though was the Black Panther Kingdom of Wakanda spin-off series coming to Disney Plus.
That was like last night or the day before. Yes. My question.
Yep.
Is it before Black Panther 2? Is it concurrent Black Panther 2? Is it anything to do with Black Panther 2?
I think it's going to be concurrent. Yeah. Like, depending on when it comes out, it will be
concurrent.
Like after the first one, and like sort of like WandaVision, like after Endgame into sort of whatever comes next, and maybe interlude with its coming film.
You don't think whatever way it releases, whether it's the second film first or this series, you don't think it will end on a cliffhanger where you won't get the full story unless you see both? Like, it won't be like a concurrent narrative running parallel with each other, like that type of thing? Or do you think...
I don't know, because it's a
bit
strange. It's sort of it's a show that I don't think we were really... Not to say we didn't want it, but it's not something that was on our radar. We weren't expecting it. It apparently comes... Ryan Coogler will be executive producing it, and he's got a new 5-year deal with Disney. So clearly they want to see out his story
vision,
that he's got in the immediate for Black Panther and the Wakanda sort of like the whole
characters,
like, plethora of characters they introduced in that first film. That was incredible. It's obviously the obvious question is this going to include any T'Challa? Is it going to be how he passes on if it comes out before the second one?
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
I think I'm interested, but I don't really want to ask those questions yet because I think it's strange that this has come after the circumstances.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Part of it feels like
maybe this is how we're working.
Happening sooner to be expected because of what's happened to Chadwick. But I feel like the show is going to tackle necessarily what will happen to the Black Panther character. And my little running theory is it won't be one person. Shuri might be in the suit and be the next traditional heroine Black Panther, but the Black Panther will be the community of Wakanda, and it will all be Black Panther. You know, it'll be something along those lines. It won't be one person; it'll be everyone. Wakanda forever in that sense.
Like
Hence why it's called
the Bat
Wakanda
Family
forever.
in Lego Batman. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, like you said, I think because of the circumstances he's been put through, then maybe this is, in a practical sense, how you
Put
develop
forward
the story and put that forward, and then obviously it leads into the second film if it comes out before it, or it elaborates on that and looks at a different thing and made more of the culture of Wakanda.
And then the only curiosity about the sequel, regardless whether this show happens or before or after the second film, is how close will they stick to the original plan? Because obviously with Chadwick around, they would have had a film. Chadwick's not here, so how much of it would have needed to be changed? Like, it was supposed. I had previously heard things about the Atlanteans. Will they still do that?
Ages ago, isn't it?
Like a little while ago, yeah.
It's.
Do you think it will stay sort of close, or do you think it'll be something completely out the window at this point?
I think.
Even though we won't know for a fair while.
I think it will stay close, or as close as they can, just because I feel like that's the story they want it to go with. They'll find ways to practically get around the unfortunate thing that happened. There were rumours before that they had two versions of the script because they knew he was ill. But obviously, you've got Kevin Feige apparently coming out and saying that he didn't know until he read the letter, I think the day before it happened. But you'd have thought, his agent definitely would have known and stuff like that. So, not that you want to be morbid and plan for these things, but it's sort of it's a really strange sort of where do you take it from here? And I think Coogler really cares about the story and the characters that he's built and the world he built, and it was a great first film. I think the second
passion project. It was a passion project.
One's going to be really emotional, not just based off what happens in that film, but all the circumstances that are sort of drawing us into it.
Yeah.
And I like his world and I like his films, and I'd like to see if all this is a nice sort of love letter sign off to Chadwick, then I'm happy for it to be that.
We're here for it.
If it elaborates and expands and spins off into other things, then I'd like that as well. I want it to be done in a way that I want him to do it the way he wants to sort of do whatever he needs to achieve with it. I don't want it to just be a thing of Disney going, well, we need to explain why Chadwick's not in it, so make this series, but with it being...
That's what I mean. I personally don't want an opening crawl saying, so during the Infinity War Endgame saga, T'Challa walled Wakanda. 6 months later, T'Challa went on on a mission somewhere. He didn't come back. Something generic like that, being he disappeared and no one's seen him since, or he got killed unfortunately during this mission. I don't want a random generic he's gone.
I hope that it's anything but that. I hope it's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's surprising, but here for it. Just like
it kind of needs to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
We got some set photos from Thor: Love and Thunder that I sent to you.
Yes. I wondered what they were at first. I was like, what am I looking at? Yeah.
So we got pictures of Chris's Hemsworth and Pratt. We also got Sean Gunn as Bradley.
Looking lovely.
And a look at Nebula on the set of Thor: Love and Thunder / as Guardians of the Galaxy. While also confirmation that James Gunn is helping Taika Waititi write it.
Yes. What, is he in the photo? Is he one of the pictures?
Yeah, so James Gunn's helping write, I think, doing a character pass or whatever on the Guardians lot, I think.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Which makes sense.
He's overseeing his bit of the film. Yeah. It's his character.
It's his characters, it's his world, it's his thing, really, isn't it? But
Thor's got his long hair again, which, I admit, I prefer long hair.
He's got an 80s sleeveless jacket on, Stormbreaker.
Got, looking funky.
Armour over his Ravager's outfit.
He does.
And we've also, Yeah, and Kraglin's got a Yondu-inspired
Yeah.
Mohawk fin
Mohawk. Yeah.
and the arrow.
Yeah.
So, presuming after the end credit scene of Guardians 2, he's learned to actually utilise it and use it. And
Yes.
Karen
Yeah.
Gillan as Nebula, but her normal hands, because she's obviously just taking a break. Because that's the left
She's a
one's a
human.
CGI robot one, isn't it?
Yes, spoiler alert, she is a human. It is makeup. Sorry, breaking the MCU down on the channel. Disney might tell us off for that. We might have to cut this out of the video, but yeah, she is a human. She is a human.
Surprising,
Deep
really.
down.
But yeah, it looks cool. I'm excited. It's going to be the first sort of big MCU film, I think. We're crossing over. I know characters are darting in and out of series at the minute, and in Phase 3 it was like buddy team-up films. And I'm looking forward to another Taika Waititi film
like
with Chris Hemsworth in it.
Yes, however long, big, or even if it is just a cool first act segment and he fucks off because they have an argument in the film, like a playful argument.
Imagine if they're only in it for 5 minutes.
Oh, I know exactly. That's what I mean. All this work for 5 minutes worth of footage.
But
it wouldn't surprise me.
It looks really cool.
People get excited over anything.
We did get a behind-the-scenes look at Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness as well. There was a behind-the-scenes photo.
Was there?
Yeah.
Who's in it? Is it Andrew Garfield? Strange and is that? I don't know. Who's the other geezer? Who's that?
Wanda.
I can't tell who that is.
That's Wanda.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's Wanda.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Wanda. All right. I partly thought it was Apocalypse from X-Men. It was Oscar Isaac.
I thought it was Apocalypse from X-Men.
One of Thanos' servants. I don't know.
Here's what Joe Biden has to say about it being Apocalypse from X-Men.
It will never happen. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Not ever.
I can't hear anything. I just heard like 2 seconds of that. Like 1.5 seconds.
It was just Joe Biden saying no.
No.
Yes.
No.
Spider-Man 3, we got Tom Holland put on Instagram like it was the biggest day of his career, like that he'd had on set. And basically said like if you like people that worked on it, like and people that don't, like I can't wait for you to see what's coming. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. It was something along those lines. We're assuming it's working on such a big film.
Basically, come see my movie.
Yeah, I mean we're going to anyway. This comes with reports that
absolutely.
Apparently,
yes.
Andrew Garfield is in Atlanta filming Spider-Man 3. There's a service in America called DoorDash where you I think you can. That's how you buy. Right. It's basically like an Uber for like buying stuff. I think that's how it works. And some guy on Twitter.
Sure.
I don't know how real this is, so
exactly. Take it with
on Twitter on the 21st of January. I just delivered food to that guy that played Spider-Man in 2014, Andrew Garfield. Brah, rude as fuck. And someone, how was he rude? So he's in Spider-Man 3 then. And it's like the tweets tagged in Atlanta, like the location. But it was cool, but I asked his ID. It's protocol when we have to deliver liquor. We have to scan. He kind of got agitated and brushed it off, and I thought, it was like, damn, this is the guy that dropped Gwen Stacy. So seemingly Andrew Garfield is in it. Whether that's
he's definitely involved. Yeah, involved.
I'd like him to get closure. I don't want to necessarily see them in those roles now. Unless it was animated, so they would always look like we remember them as their characters. It's a hard one. It's it's excitement, and also please Sony stop putting people in Spider-Man movies when there's already so many people in Spider-Man movies.
It is fan service. It's got to do. It's the MCU, so they've got to expand their whole overall story. Like you say, Garfield's got to get closure because he didn't even get a trilogy. But then, will history repeat itself? Will the third movie be a shambles? Because Spider-Man's 1 and 2 for Tobey Maguire, you know, excellent movies. Without those movies, we wouldn't have the whole superhero genre. We never would have had the MCU. We wouldn't be here right now for sure. Spider-Man 3, as weird as it is, we probably wouldn't be here either. Talking about these movies, they probably would have ended like a decade ago, maybe. We would be into horror films. Horror would have made a comeback instead.
Just a quick thing for real life. 6 o'clock. So right now, people are outside clapping for Captain Tom Moore because obviously he recently passed from COVID. So we're just going to have a bit of a. £100 years old, £33 million for the NHS. Fantastic. I can hear people outside ringing bells and shouting and cheering, and it's not what we'd love to do for him at the minute, but
no.
Thank you, Captain Tom.
Right.
Sadly passed. Is it yesterday?
It was, yeah. I thought it.
What a guy. People would like moaning that he went to Barbados, but if he'd just raised all that money, I think you'd have a holiday as well with your family. And I hope you had a really good time. Because BA paid for it anyway, so people fucking moaning about it. He's allowed to enjoy his life. There won't be an Avengers movie in Phase 4. We knew that already because Kevin Feige said this phase is all about new beginnings. Introducing new characters, new threads and everything. But don't think we're not going to see Earth's Mightiest Heroes reform in the future. So, like we said, have a phase off, Phase 5, possibly. Because also, if Phase 4 somehow surprisingly ends with Fantastic Four, that's your superhero team movie you want in Phase 4.
Yes.
Tease the
That's all we want. Like, yeah, please, just do it.
Tease the beginnings.
Do it.
And yeah, take it to new places, and then make us wait. So then, when we get round to like we've had that year off between like Spider-Man: Far From Home and then WandaVision, it's allowed us to sort of reflect and miss it, and then be like, God, I really want some fucking Marvel to see. Maybe when we finally get to Avengers, it'll be, you know what. It was worth the wait.
So worth the wait, yeah.
Because you can't just top Endgame straight away, because anything that you've come up against is going to seem inferior.
Of course, it can't top Endgame. Like, if anything ever happens, if we ever get to that sort of momentum and point ever again, who knows? Well, it just needs to be better than Age of Ultron at this.
Age of Ultron is great. People shit on it for no reason. It's a great film. I'd argue that I like it now better than the first one.
Whoa!
First one's quite slow. Takes a while to get going.
I've only ever watched it twice, so okay. Ultron, I think I've watched twice. Infinity War and Endgame, I've watched numerous amount of times. But okay, all right, interesting.
So we can go over to the dark side because we got a release date for the Snyder Cut, 18th of March 2021 on HBO Max.
The only movie we're getting this year, woohoo!
Hashtag Snyder Cut streaming for 3/18/21. Hashtag Us United. And we got a picture of the
I've seen that image around. The
original films over the Justice League. So
yeah.
Do we care? Yeah.
The director's cut.
No, because we don't have HBO.
Well, it's the only movie. It's the only movie we're getting this year, apart from the other second movie, which is also out in March. Is it like, I don't know. When is it out? The Godzilla vs. Kong, you know, for anyone that's addressing the elephant in the room. What date is that? Because I know that's March also.
Have you watched the rest of the films in the series?
Right, I was going to get to this. So, Kong Skull Island last night. What happened? What happened? You had such an A-list cast. You had Tom bloody Loki Hiddleston. You had Captain Marvel Larson, Brie Cheese Larson, Samuel Mace Windu Jackson, and then John C. Reilly, who is a comedian that I haven't seen much of, but he is a pure comedian in my eyes. So why on earth is he in an action monster movie? Yet he's the best character. Everyone else has got no lines of dialogue. No. The dialogue. There was no slight development. We didn't learn anything about the characters. Tom Hiddleston had a lighter from when he saw his dad leave when he went off to do the RAF stuff in World War II. But the lighter didn't come up in the last act. So what was the point of that scene? Nah, absolute shambles. Absolute shambles, that movie. I weren't a fan of Kong Skull Island at all. Kong, I loved. If I was a deaf person and going by visuals alone, 10 out of 10 movie, take my money. It's literally an art piece. It is a 4K treat. I imagine it'd look gorgeous.
Everything else.
I'd imagine it looks gorgeous. It's just a shambles. It's an utter shambles. I won't be owning it on the shelf. If I have to stream it for whatever reason, I'll just utter shambles. But 2014 Godzilla, I mean, you've got, 3 or 4 characters in that movie. Bryan Cranston dies in the first half hour. Some people will look at it and think, what was the point? No development.
Godzilla.
But there was an emotional hook there.
Godzilla versus Walter White. Nothing.
Exactly. Why can't we get that instead? No. People would look at that and think, oh, yeah, he only got killed off 20 minutes into the movie. But there was an emotional hook there, and I needed to see the end of that movie because of his excellent performance. And Aaron Taylor becomes like the man of the film because of Cranston's demise. But everyone else had a purpose. It worked, and I really dug Godzilla. All right, it was like Jaws. He wasn't barely in that movie. Your criticisms are very valid about that point. But when he's on screen, he tears motherfuckers apart. The last half hour is excellent. Kong Skull Island is just complete opposite. I was just very let down. But tonight, after this recording, I'm going to have to do King of the Monsters just to get
You're gonna love
done.
King
And
of
then
Monsters. King of Monsters is so
I really hope so.
It's literally, you're going to be
so.
like, turn your brain off, enjoy the violence. My God, I can't wait for Kong versus
Yeah.
Godzilla. Godzilla versus Kong.
That is March, isn't it? Though that is like March the 19th. I don't know, when is the date for that. I thought it was March as well.
I'm sure.
I could be wrong. All right, okay.
I'm not sure.
All right.
We also got a photo that Zack Snyder shared of Jared Leto as the Joker for the Snyder Cut.
I mean, I just thought that was Jigsaw and Joaquin Phoenix combined. I was like, who's that?
It does look very Joaquin Phoenixy.
But cool, yes. Will he actually do things in this movie, though? Or will he be like a 2-minute scene, go, hello, I'm alive, and then fuck off?
I don't know. Well, not really fast, because Jared Leto's Joker's not great. But it's better than the movie Joker. I appreciate what they're trying to do. Like, Joaquin's performance is amazing. I just think that there is so much in that that's like, you're trying to be cleverer than you are.
But the thing is, Jared Leto doesn't even have a character. Like Kong, he's in that movie for about 30 minutes or in all of Suicide Squad, but it's mishmashed in the worst way possible. You see 30 seconds of him at the beginning, then he's like 10 minutes in the helicopter, mowing the anti-heroes down, and then he appears in 5 minutes in the post-credits.
When he stabbed the guy through the mouth.
Oh. Yeah, and that, yeah. But other than that, angry. This is a rant. I'm angry.
We got a title for Matrix 4, The Matrix Resurrection.
Yes. They like to stick with the R's. Revelations.
Matrix Reloaded, Matrix. The shit one.
Yeah.
Revolution.
I thought it was like Revelations. Yeah, Revolution, yeah. So, yeah, Reloaded, Revolution, and what? Resurrection is.
Yeah.
He said, Resurrection.
They're like the Daleks, they love ours.
Resurrection.
Remembrance. The Matrix Remembrance.
Yes. Oh no, having the next one. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, great.
Am I excited?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'm interested to see Keanu Reeves, whether he can go back and slip back into that role of John Wick. Fucking Neo. We shall see.
Neo, John the One, Neo Wick.
Where
still on track for December, isn't it?
I think so. I don't know. I don't look at it. Apparently, we got someone on Wiki has written this, so it could have just been an edit. But for Doctor Who Series 13. like you've got the
Oh.
series episodes like blocks, like in the thing, and it says series 13 main article. It will divert you to that link of the thing, and it has like the brief summary
Yes.
at the top and sort
Yeah.
of goes like that, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely, yeah.
So it says on there, series 13, the episode count was reduced from 10 to 8 episodes due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Also introduced Dan, brackets John Bishop, as a new companion. The first episode is set to be called Flight of the Angels.
Damn, if that's true,
Which
are we
would
getting them?
suggest the
Daleks. The Daleks
Drag
again. The drag chicks. The Sontarans. It's a hoax.
Because they were like the Sontaran one was filmed
Be a
first
good hope.
in Block 1 and it's in Liverpool, so it was like, is that would seem like the opener because that's where you
Yeah, so I mean,
Dan the Van Man in, unless we do get a couple of stories without him, and then he joins later.
yes, then he joins. That would make a change. Yeah, that would make a change.
Like Mel.
Yeah.
Mel.
Fine.
Yeah.
They want to hook the viewers, so they're going to do like one of the cooler stories, I guess. Or hopefully it's one of the cool stories. It might be the worst Weeping Angel story for all we know. I don't know. It's Chibnall, so my hopes aren't exactly through the roof.
Have you heard,
but,
have you heard the rumours that apparently they know who the next Doctor is?
Yes. I kept seeing articles
on, I think it was Cameo. People have asked her. She was, for Doctor Who context for you, the regeneration of the General in Hellbent, when the old Bones regenerates into a woman, and she says that she was only a man for one incarnation. How do you keep up with that ego? She's also the sort of adjudicator for the school in Sex Education Season 2, who tells Headmaster Groff that he needs some time off, and she's also fantastic in Years and Years. She's brilliant.
Okay.
And apparently someone asked her on Cameo, like saying like she'd be great at being a doctor, and she apparently came back with she knows who it is. It's a she. I'm like, I said it was a she. But all I know is she's going to be like fabulous and like really rock your world. People are reading into whether this is official. Speculating Lydia West from Years and Years / It's a Sin. Like she was she's become more prominent in It's a Sin, and like seems like a great young up and coming actress. That's the person that she's referring to, which I'm not against. I've frequently gone on record saying I think the next two at least need to be a woman, so it's not like
should be a woman.
Let's go back to a man.
Exactly. Yeah. Scrap that idea. Yeah.
A younger woman, person of colour,
like lesser unknown-ish. Yeah.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
Whether these are true, we'll have to wait and see. I would like if it was a surprise regeneration and it did turn out to be her, but we didn't know. Not new. Because I don't think you can do a regeneration without announcing that it's going to happen. But I wouldn't put it past Chibnall to withhold who it is, which would be a nice thing for the viewer to speculate.
As to who on earth it could be.
Yeah, because obviously Jodie.
Or would it be no one that we ever thought of?
The draw was Jodie was the first woman, and then this could be just a draw of like, who's it going to be next? I hope we get more Jodie though, because I think I'd like to see her with the companion.
I don't want her to be like the Colin of this era. I don't want her to be Colin. I don't want her to just abruptly.
And Capaldi already got done like Colin, but she is getting done like Colin because of the gaps in production and the years that she's missing out on, essentially. Previous. Yeah. But I'd like to see more of her with different companions, and then someone like Lydia West, I'd be really up for, especially because it would also carry on annoying small-minded people on the internet.
No, I have to check. Years and Years I was going to watch. Wasn't that around the same time as Normal People? I was going to look at that, I think, for whatever reason.
Watch Years and Years. It is perfect Russell writing. Also watch It's a Sin. Because I haven't finished that yet, but that's amazing.
It's a Sin. Is that on BBC as well?
That's Channel 4.
Channel 4. Okay. Oh, definitely. Lydia. What was her name again? Sorry, Lydia what?
West.
Lydia West. Okay, I will search her name. It'll be in my phone. Yeah, I will watch it. I'll see her.
The composer for Game of Thrones is coming back for House of the Dragon. Ramin Djawadi if that's how you say your name.
Right.
I apologise if it's not. Well, they're returning to School House of Dragons. Yeah, I'm not really still bothered
Cool, I guess.
about that at the minute.
Hmm.
There is a script for Baby Driver series 2, Baby Driver 2, sorry, that Edgar Wright has written.
So serious.
A thing of
Yeah.
when we get it, obviously recasting for Kevin Spacey or like no character at all.
Yeah.
Also Ansel Elgort as well, just because of the accusations of all the stuff, underage things.
It'd have to be
Whether
a
or
completely
not
different
they've been
plot.
proved true or otherwise, just don't fucking bring that shitstorm
Bother.
into this
don't.
film.
Exactly,
That's
don't bother.
one problem with Baby
No.
Driver is that the Kevin Spacey thing coming out really took people away from this film. When, obviously the power of hindsight, you wouldn't have it in it, but like it was done and it was already, and then like obviously, and rightly so, the people come out against Kevin Spacey, and then this film suffered for it. When I think it is a great film.
It was a wicked film. I've been meaning to rewatch it for the longest time, but I remember loving it. I did love it.
And we got casting for Jay Luchkrugo is cast as Tim Drake in Titans Season 3. I haven't watched any of Titans.
It's okay. It's good in places, then it isn't. But the last finale, Dick Grayson Nightwing costume is sick, and now that he's finally Nightwing, I can see it being hopefully on the up. But it's good in places.
We did get a trailer for Mighty Ducks series. That's good. I love Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
So I can't wait to see it. And
still need to see them, but yep.
Down as Amazon's CEO this year. The richest man in the world.
I know. Yes.
He becomes
the
executive chair of the company instead. So rich people keep making money. Who knew?
They haven't announced a successor. They have. Oh, they did. Oh.
They have.
Who do I know the name? Is it anyone interested?
Andy Jassy, the Amazon Web Services CEO, will replace Bezos with and he will then transition to executive chair of Amazon's board. So
okay.
That's a thing. It's happening.
Okay,
WandaVision episode 4.
Right. Yes.
Wrap up with that, and then we'll get going.
Keep going. On to the next one. So how shall we begin? Because I'll say the intro. Jesus, man. Oof, that was a lot to take in. I didn't even know what I was looking at, first of all.
It's a beautiful
I genuinely didn't know what I was looking at.
Hit us with the story of spoilers ahead for WandaVision episode 4. My personal favourite of the series so far. I really like this one. So we've had different decades, and this broke this up and made it like that nice mid-season.
Not a sitcom.
We didn't hit. We just sort of breezed right past it.
Okay. We start off in the real world. The MCU is large. We're not in the fantasy sitcom world anymore. As we see, like, particles, it looked like dust sort of merge and, like, combine together. And again, we are just gazing at the screen thinking, what on earth are we looking at? And then all of a sudden, these dust particles turn into, like, cheekbones. And you see a bit of skin and a face is forming. And it's no other than Miss Geraldine, as we've known her as of last week. But Monica, Teyonah Parris' face. I know, yes.
Beautiful shot of her.
And she's in, like, a... Yeah, okay, I was probably going to build it up. All right, yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to. She's in like a hospital ward, just on her bed, whatever. And then, as you know, camera pans out when she walks out of the room, and like you see people form from the blip. And then that's when I clocked in what was going on, and it was a real like, oh damn! Like, well, I forgot Endgame happened like 2 years ago. It's like Far From Home went over it as like a little gag reel, like comedy version. This is like the serious.
It does. Isn't it? That's what
By the way, your mum's. I know it's been 5 years, but your mum died 3 years ago. He's like, well, what do you mean? You know, is she in? Yeah, because she asked for her mum.
Maria Rambeau had cancer, and she was going in for an operation when the blip happened.
Yeah,
like she came. That's right. She came out of it okay, and then like Monica thought she'd just fallen asleep, but she'd obviously been like gone 5 years
asleep for 5 years,
But
yeah,
for
so
her,
to
it
speak.
was, like everyone, it's just instantaneous. And then
Yes,
she'd come back and her mum had died 3 years ago. Because obviously she carried on
Exactly.
without her. And we learned a bit more about what the world done to plan for the eventuality of maybe people coming back. Because S.W.O.R.D kind of already existed and we just didn't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's go with that for now. Yeah. Let's go with that. Yeah. It then shots then move from this hospital into S.W.O.R D HQ, where you see the lovely logo that we keep seeing in every Poxy episode on like a big logo, big statue, if you like. And we actually go inside, and then you have like TV article headlines talking about the blip and the snap, and that's how you know definitely what's going on. Monica asks, because as a S.W.O.R D member, she asks basically to get to her lab and sort of pick up life, back to work. She can't get in because her key card hasn't got access anymore, or whatever the receptionist sort of says to her. And then, luckily, inconveniently, I guess the white Nick Fury-like figure for now, while Samuel L. Jackson's in space, our new director of S.W.O.R D walks in. There's something about him I don't personally like. I reckon, bold statement, we won't know for at least a couple of years. I reckon he's a Skrull. I don't like him. It's just something with his persona. Personally, I don't know. I can't even remember his name, but he's apparently the surname I've read in articles could be related from a character from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So could this be Feige trying to bring unite?
Well, that's
kind
nice.
of, yeah. Subtly, at least, subtly.
Yeah, it's cool.
I can't even give his name. I'll look up his name.
And I'll jump in with. So S.W.O.R.D used to be something else.
Yeah, you carry on.
About observation and stuff like that, and now, he says, the director, I forget his name, unfortunately. The times have changed and everything, and the technology and where they've gone, and the threats that they've had to encounter. So it's not stating that they're directly related to S.H.I.E.L.D. But I feel like they're sort of a company,
they were
a company that's formed in the vacuum of them not being there.
In the comics, they were Sentinel World Observation, some research division, and then now they're Sentinel Weapon Observation. They're basically world to weapon, which makes me suggest that maybe, if my theory's right, maybe they were the World Observation when Monica formed S.W.O.R D, because as he says, you even get a little what's a photo of Monica Rambo, but as Photon or Phasma, who's Teyonah Parris becomes in the who she becomes in the comics.
Yeah, so Maria, her nickname's Photon, a bit like how her Danvers' call sign was Avenger.
Yes.
Sort of thing. So I'm assuming it's like that.
I cannot find his name for the life of me at the minute.
And there's a mission that he's got. He wants to obviously get her back in, but she can't because he said half of his forces disappeared in the blip, and then the other half that were left sort of lost their edge. And S.W.O.R D has changed, and he needs people like her, like pilots like her. She went into that same field as her mother, which is great, and I can't wait to see. It made me really look forward to Captain Marvel 2 with this. Where this is going,
totally.
How it's going to lead into Miss Marvel, and then we're going to get into Captain Marvel 2 with all that, and tie all these nice little characters together. And Teyonah Parris is great. Teyonah Parris is great as Monica Rambeau.
She's cool. Oh, she's sick. That's the thing. The fact that she got a whole nearly 10-minute introduction. It was just this is obviously going to be very important in the long run. And if you people are not tuning into Disney Plus, you're going to be so lost by the time Captain Marvel 2 comes around. No, it was cool. It was definitely a good way to kick it off, and it made a change, and it just reminded us that sitcoms are fake, TV and media is fake. There is a real world outside. Let's go and explore it. It was cool, very cool.
So she gets sent to the town of Westview.
Yeah.
Where she meets FBI agent Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo Woo from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
He's great, Randall Park. I love him. They've set up a perimeter around this town that's already gone missing. There's a population of 3,982. He says something around that. It almost looks like a dilapidated town. So, and that's when you sort of twig, that's where Wanda is, and she's built that reality around that.
Yes.
Or at least someone is. Someone's making her do that, or she is.
Not quite in her head.
We see
not
drone,
quite
we
in
see
her
them
head,
fly
but it's an
drone in,
actual
which
place.
is in Captain Marvel colours as it goes in.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also the same plane that Wanda picks up in episode 2, which was weirdly coloured. But we didn't have the blue colour. It was just red and yellow. It was just red and yellow. Yeah, exactly. It's no blue.
So we sort of learned
Mm.
that there's a barrier around the town that looks
Yes.
like the static from an old curved TV.
Yeah.
It's got the static pixelation things, and that the barrier then appropriates whatever goes in to look like the aesthetic, because Darcy from Thor's in it, like a load of other scientists have been gathered in different fields to try and work out what is happening, and she figures out that it's transmitting a wave, but she needs an old TV to register it, because that's the wave that sort of that made it sort of like
that's
the
what
energy
was existing
source
at the
that's
time.
coming through from this thing. It's on
Yeah,
old TV.
yeah,
And
yeah,
essentially
yeah,
watches
yeah.
the show with us, and we see that she was the woman at the end of episode 1 that was taking notes. We see that it was Jimmy Woo that trying to communicate through the radio in episode 2, and we see that it's almost like a sort of what happened episode. Like it just sort of weaves all in and out, and we see
It was just like a sidewoods episode, side call. I don't know. It was like a
Side
run
quest.
in between episode. All the events that we saw so far
nice little
was
side quest episode, really.
it was running simultaneously. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
And
running
we saw
simultaneously. with each other. other.
obviously Monica get dragged into, like she goes up and touches it, then gets dragged in. So that's why that happens while episode 1's happening, which is why when it sort of resets for the next one, that she's not in the first episode. So then she's obviously in the second one for when it resets. So like all the people in there, like you feel are like mindless people.
Yes.
She obviously she has bits coming through from the real world, and we see her getting to that point, which we'll go over at the end, because that's obviously the ending of the episode, where she sort of
absolutely
starts remembering stuff while she's with Wanda. Kat Dennings is great in this. Randall Park is great. Tiana Paris is great. Like them three, I know they've said they'd be up for an X-Files style MCU show.
Cool.
I'm here for that.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
I like that the barrier appropriates everything to look like the time it's in. Like the people they send in hazmat suits underneath, then look like beekeepers when you go through the barrier, and the rope turns into a skipping rope, like the cable. That
which is hilarious. Yeah.
So we see the no moment where he comes up from the ground, which is nice because it makes him look like an AIM soldier as well.
He did. That's what he did. He made him look evil. But yeah. It's cool. I really like that feature. I like the fact that whatever was modern, like the plane, why it all goes retro. Wherever you go in, you then turn retro. It's like, I like that.
I like that we go in, and then we go into the episode with them trying to obviously get her out. So we see that episode 3 sort of again. But I like how it's shot exactly the same way. But it looks so completely different, because you get when her saying about Ultron, the panels just widen. It goes to 16:9.
It does.
So it's the 1970s one shot in 2019-2020 style. It looks too great. Like, so that's
spectacular.
Sort of like drawing you out of the reality, because now you're not watching. So the show's made up like you're watching it from the base or getting that reception from that signal.
Yeah.
It's almost like how they're playing it.
Yeah.
And it's just. And then it's so picture perfect and clear and HD and 4K and beautiful, and like you see what happens, like the reaction to when, because the thing jumps and they see it jump, and then they obviously end of episode 3 was Tiana Paris being outside the barrier, and now we know how she got there, because we see why Wanda does her own editing, because she, after realising who she is, she essentially force pushes her back through the barrier. Like someone pointed out, that's the wall we've never seen, so she's essentially breaking the fourth wall with Monica Rambeau, and then repairs it all, and then what Vision comes in, the same shot as exactly the same shot, I think, as episode 3 with like and that like she had to walk home, but now it's still in the 16:9, and she turns round and we see Vision's face.
His real face. Let's reiterate, his real dead face from Infinity War. Spoiler alert in case you haven't seen Infinity War. But
greyed out, nothing.
He's
in the eyes.
dead.
Not completely grey, like when he went completely grey when the stone got pulled out. Not completely. There's still colour. But it's like she's forcing it into him. like the dead eyes. There's no pupils, nothing,
Yeah.
and still the dent in his head.
He
where
is.
the
He's like a
stone's out.
zombie.
And we see
It's like live action Marvel zombies.
maybe Wanda is the villain of her own show.
The culprit at the moment. Yeah.
But now we know what's happening
She's
outside.
definitely affected.
We know everything essentially is happening outside. We have an idea of what's going on inside. So, what is your thoughts at this point? The sort of midway, like the next episode is the middle episode. 87.
But that's okay. Question: Do you? So that's the thing now. Do you think all these remaining 5 episodes? Do you think will have scenes where they're outside 20? They go full screen, and then every few minutes it'll go back to 4x3 and back to 80 sitcom, or do you think they'll sort of hop in between? Or
but I don't want it jumping.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get quite boring.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see.
I don't know. I'd like to see 80s this week. I think it's going to be Agnes and Wanda, like in their house, sort of wearing funky gym costume, or at least 80s-ish, very flary clothing. And I think it'll be a cheesy, I was pregnant yesterday, let's lose some weight, sort of cheesy thing along those lines.
Is it Wanda making it?
Yeah.
Because like when Monica comes out, she's like, "It's Wanda. It's all Wanda." Like, is that just down to
is
Wanda
that literal?
longing for Vision,
is that literal?
or is something else larger at play? Because we know she's going to be in Doctor Strange, and she's not the bad guy in Doctor Strange. So
so we think.
True. What is it that's overarching this? I know she's doing it herself, but she can't be doing this off of her own back. Surely.
The popular thing is Agnes, and I still think Agnes is definitely involved, and she's definitely gotten Wanda's ear maybe before the events of. As you know, Wanda snapped, didn't she? She died. She didn't survive. She died, didn't she?
Wanda got
between Infinity War and Endgame, she died,
and
then came back in Endgame, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that theory out the window. I was going to say, if she was one of the survivors, in the 5 years before they all formed together and did Endgame, she met Agnes in between and basically said, taught her the powers and sort of taught her the powers and how to make all this
met
happen.
Agnes in the Beyond.
She's dead, we can't go with that.
In the snap, like once you got snapped, where did you go? Because people were only, as Rocket described them, sort of dead.
No.
You weren't dead.
No. But then, the other thing I've got, what about Dottie? So there's a scene as well where in the real world, I love how Jimmy Woo and Darcy are asking the questions that we all fans are asking. Why 1950s sitcom? Why old-style TVs? Why is Vision alive? All these amazing written questions, which make sense.
Yeah, the dialogue is great.
They have a board of basically all the citizens in the town, and they've got real identities. Except Agnes is on the board, and there's no information about her whatsoever. Which is she even human? But then, but episode 2, Dottie or Anya from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. See how it all ties together.
Yeah.
She has her hand sliced and bled. She weren't on that board. The latest things, she could be Mephisto, is what they're all saying, because the fact that it's all for the children, it's all very cult heavy. They're all saying she could be the real, one manipulating everything. It might be a joint Agnes Dottie thing. It might be just Dottie. I don't know. But Dottie's definitely looked at the moment because she wasn't on that board at all.
That's cool.
I don't know. That's just a run on the mill's fault. But I don't know. I just had to give that information to you. If you want to process that and
I'm up for
can't
that.
do something, I don't know.
I'm excited more now because we're at the midway point, and we've answered some questions, but we've asked a hell of a lot more.
We've definitely got more. Yeah.
And I'm really intrigued to see what happens this Friday, and where we go from here.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
It's
for the next 5
really
weeks.
I'm loving this, and I'm loving watching it 1 episode a week.
It's working. It's something to look forward to. Friday is the only different day of the week for me at the moment because I get home and I'm all happy and jolly.
Just doing it week by week because people are complaining about it, like it's too slow or whatever. But someone tweeted like Netflix really ruined how we consume media because it just not having all the information available in one day, like where you can watch 3 or 4 episodes and something that happened 3 or 4 episodes ago. It happened the same day for you. Like you watched it, so you're going to remember those things. But it's having to be a longer, like an overarching thing, and I like that about it. And I think that's why we got the first two at once, because I think if we'd just got episode 1, now have to wait a week for episode 2.
Sure, I think I agree. I would have been a bit more like, I don't get what the fuss is all about. But then the fact that after the 2 episodes, it got 100% reviews on like Rotten Tomatoes, it was the highest rated title on Disney Plus. Like after seeing those 2, I kind of got why, and I definitely appreciated the different and creativity genius behind it. If we just got episode 1, I think everyone would have just gone, it was great, it was good, but I don't get the hype around it as such. I don't think people would have stuck around with it. So it's a smart move. Definitely a smart move. It's a smart move.
Will it be a game changer, do you think? Is this going to change the face of the MCU for a little bit? Because I feel like this is just this thing of like, we're just getting started. This thing's going to have mad impact throughout the rest of at least this phase.
Yeah, it definitely. The ending. They will have apparently. I saw today. Mandalorian season 2 had an amazing Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker cameo. They're saying that they're supposedly going to have a like Luke Skywalker Mandalorian finale type moment. Is it Stephen Strange? Is it someone we've not even thought about yet? Is someone?
Is Benedict Cumberbatch the British Mark
going to be on set?
What you're asking?
Oh my god! well, is he Luke? Is he Lucas Skywalker? No, I don't know. Will we have a Mandalorian moment where it'll be like a holy shit type finale cameo moment? I don't know.
Well, hopefully we do. Are you guys all enjoying WandaVision as much as we are? Let us know in the comments, or you can get in touch with us, because that's another episode of this nonsense and drivel that we do every week. Thank you everyone for listening and watching and doing whatever you do to support us. Thank you for the influx of new subscribers. Please, we're going to be announcing a giveaway for 200 subscribers. We're going to be doing that in, hopefully it's out by the time this is out. It's just, getting everyone to sort of agree to what we're going to give away. But it will be worth it, I think. As always, thank you, Connor, for joining me and being my illustrious, beautifully bright boy in a WandaVision world.
Sitcom world, take me there.
If you want to get involved with us throughout the week, you can send emails to
thenerdbiblecontact@gmail.com
and follow us throughout the week on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, by following @PastySheep. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you haven't already, and get involved in helping us to grow and be better people in 2021, because it's working so far. It is. What's really left to say is we'll see you next week, and get your thoughts in about WandaVision. We'd like that. And also, before I go, I recorded for Hit and Miss podcast on Sunday the 7th. That'll come out same day as us. They basically, it's 8 or 10 episodes, I think, in a series. And they did it last year. It was really good. Got into the people that make that and talked to them about it and said, like, I would really like to talk about Torchwood, Children of Earth. So that's what I am. I'm episode 1 of series 2. I'm the first guest. Obviously got the gracious enough to have me and listen to my various voices and impressions, and we had a lot of fun. It's, I think, about 2 hours, maybe, something like that, because obviously we have to talk about the whole thing. Take a story, different guest each week. Is it a hit or a miss in the end?
Right.
Give it a score.
Yeah.
We'll have to try and get you on there, Con. That would be.
Please, yes, I'll give you a watch, and then
So make sure you check out Hit and Miss podcast this Sunday. It's out now as you listen to this on their YouTube channel. It's Mike and Andy were really, really nice, and it was nice to sort of. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoy listening to me talk on someone else's thing, which is weird. But until next time.
Yeah, I bet it must be. Yes.
Hopefully we'll have them on. Yes. Stay pasty. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.